Are you a real estate agent and you're looking to build your personal brand? This is how I would use ChatGPT to do that. So very first, go to ChatGPT and start talking to it like, what do you want to achieve? So I'm going to start talking to it. I am a real estate agent in Detroit, Michigan, and my goal is to increase and develop my personal brand. And part of that is I want to increase outreach. I want to connect with more people. I want to connect with mortgage broker or mortgage agents or mortgage professionals, title company professionals. I want to engage with the local community. Give me some ideas on how I can do that. And then also give me some, well, first let's start with that. Okay, so it's starting to output. And a lot of the times ChatGPT will feed you very generic stuff, but don't get discouraged because that's when you talk to it and you start to refine it and polish it and customize it with your thought, right? So obviously build a strong digital presence, consistent social media content. Obviously, we all know that, right? Regularly post valuable content on Instagram. Yes, we know. Short form content. Yes, we know. Collaborations with mortgage title professionals. Feature local mortgage brokers and title companies in your content. That is a very good point because it's like if you're developing content, I want to say this real quick too, because I think it's important for people to hear. People think that just because somebody else is doing it doesn't mean that they can do it. No, do it because that's the way that you're doing it. It's your unique approach to maybe that format. A lot of people are saying right now, oh, everybody's doing a podcast, but not everybody's doing it right. So instead of calling it a podcast, maybe call it a series. Call it a series where you sit down with these, individuals. And I think it's important to be mindful too of everything from quality, from presentation. Like when you're showing a house, obviously you want to stage the house to look super appealing. So that way people are like more motivated to want to live in that house. Same thing with your content. If you're going to film, don't film in a basic, and I'll say this, if you're going to film in a very clean setting, it has to be sharp. It has to be sharp. It could not look like the angles can't be off. The lighting can't be off. Like it has to be sharp. Subconsciously, the human mind has developed the unique ability to be able to tell when something is amateur and something is professional. How? Well, we've been going to movies since we were kids. We know what it's supposed to sound like. We know what the picture and the quality is supposed to look like. We even know what the acting is supposed to be like. If it's off by even a little bit, we know. Our subconscious mind knows. So it's like really start to, and here's the other part. A lot of people don't like the idea because they hear online like do it yourself, film with your phone. Yes, you can start that way, but if you want to develop in your career, you have to develop in quality as well. You have to develop in strategy. So over time, as you get the opportunity, find a videographer in your area that is doing really well and outputting high quality video and reach out to him or her and be like, hey, get a quote, or if you want to start a partnership. But you have to be aspiring for greatness, more and more and more and more over time. As more opportunities come, there's a higher expectation, right? So it's like pictures, video, sound, everything. You have to be thinking about it. If you don't want to spend time learning it, because you can, there's courses online that you can take to learn how to film and edit and all that. But if you're in real estate, that's where your focus should be. So find talent to help you execute your objective, right? So the collaborations with the professionals, call it a series. Call it something cool, unique. On my podcast, people want to actually sit down and talk with me because they see the quality, the output that is consistently put out every time. It's not like we're just filming a little clip and just throwing some shit together. No, everything is custom. Everything is perfectly thought out and curated. Nothing is by accident. Every question is curated. It's strategy, you guys. It's strategy. Everything is strategy. And I'm not saying strategy from the point of, what can we get out of these people? When people hear the word strategy, they think they feel like they're being taken advantage of. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying strategy in the sense of if you're going to have somebody on your series and you're going to talk about certain things, all right, I know I want for this clip to reach more people. How can I do that? Well, maybe if I tag certain businesses or certain brands or certain people or certain, Instagram accounts. Okay, how can I do that? All right, go to ChatGPT and be like, all right, I am going to do a series I'm a real estate agent and I'm going to do a series with some, where I feature local professionals in the real estate industry. Let's just say this series is going to be focused on the target market being people in the industry that are maybe wanting to leverage your insight or glean from you. So in this specific series, I'm going to sit down with professionals and we're going to talk about the nitty gritty of the real estate industry. The target market is not our end target consumers, but the target market is people, professionals in the space. Why? Because we know as a real estate professional, in order to get referrals, we have to have strong relationships. So I'm going to sit down with these professionals, but I want you to give me some ideas on how I can maximize outreach or maximize reach in order to potentially have this clip go viral. So by that, I mean, when I'm sitting down with a mortgage professional or when I'm sitting down with a title professional or a closer or a real estate agent, I want to be able to tag multiple accounts on Instagram. So find me or structure a creative approach, like a template for me, in order to, when I'm interviewing somebody, be able to throw in these brands so I can tag them, maybe even if they're local brands, local professionals, so I can tag them. Maybe if it's like a little clip where it's like, I had this this closing with Brad from X, Y, and Z Real Estate, and in that, closing, I learned this, da 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 da. You mentioned Brad, so all right, go to Brad's Instagram account. If tag him, find his Instagram account, tag him. Brad's gonna see it and be like, "Dope, that's cool. They were talking about me. Oh, cool, it's content. I can share it." Boom, Brad's gonna share that clip. All right. Now, when we were closing for this brand, coffee brand or, retail brand in the city, and it was important because this deal was very, specific. The client wanted this and we were thinking about that. Whatever it is, tag the brand because the brand's going to be like, oh, this is cool. Like they're talking about our brand. Let me share it. Even if it's on my story, I'm going to share it. So that's what I'm talking about. Is strategic, being thoughtful. Think about what it is you're trying to achieve. If you're trying to achieve reach, then focus on that. Like, how can I increase reach? So when you tag somebody and they post it, or even if you add them as a collaborator, because now that's a feature on Instagram where if you tag them or invite them to collaborate on a post, it's going to show up on their timeline. Here's another thing. When you're doing these series clips, be mindful of that. Google search engine uses chat or uses Instagram copy for search. And I'll give you an example of that. On my podcast, I was featuring an artist and we always do long form copy. We use all characters allotted for every single platform. And why? Because 2 weeks later when somebody had asked me a question about the artist, I went to Google and I did a quick search on the artist, put their first and last name, Detroit artist, and boom, our content popped up. That is strategy. That is the point. So if you know that what are the types of keywords that people are going to use to search terms, like what are the most popular, who are the best agents in Dearborn, who are the best agents in Troy, all right, boom. So you're thinking about that. People are going to be typing that into the search bar. I'm going to make sure that I include those phrases in the copy when I output these clips. So everything is strategy.